Should you lift heavier or lighter weights to gain muscle faster? Everyone appears to have a different viewpoint on this matter. Some people think that bodyweight calisthenics-style exercises with high repetitions are the finest. Others, though, insist that heavy, low representative weight training is superior for promoting rapid muscle growth. In light of the scientific evidence, I want to discuss today which type of exercise will produce the best outcomes for you specifically. To truly determine the answer, as opposed to merely offering you another perspective, we must first define what constitutes an exercise in terms of training intensity. The proportion of your one representative maximum that you can train at is referred to as the science training intensity. Therefore, if you were using all of your one representative maximum, it would suggest that the weight load you were using was so heavy that you could only perform one representative. On the other hand, a weight load would be 80% of your one representative maximum. That you could likely perform 7 to 8 reps before failing. Based on data obtained from numerous strength training studies, each training intensity level, whether it be 70, 80, or 90%, correlates with a particular number of reps, and you can see all that data summarized in the table in front of you. As you can see, it should be very clear that you can perform more repetitions if you exercise with less weight or a lower percentage of your one representative maximum. However, you will be able to accomplish fewer reps if you exercise with heavier weights or a higher percentage of your one representative maximum. So let's examine why some weightlifters advocate using low weights and performing somewhere between 15 and 25 reps per set if you want to maximize muscle growth. Well, first, proponents of high repetitions assert that light weights and high repetitions are better because they increase metabolic stress, a physiological reaction to low energy levels within the cell that occurs during resistance training and results in the accumulation of metabolites like lactate, inorganic phosphate, and hydrogen ions. Many times, a second session with high reps feels more productive. When you look in the gym mirror, you get a great pump and can feel your muscles expanding. Therefore, it must be the best training method. Right? Well, maybe not always. Engaging in lightweight, high representative pump exercise is not particularly magical. It's not a terrible plan either for building muscle. Additionally, a lot of well-known bodybuilders prioritize modest weight training. However, it is not miraculous in any way. Deeper data analysis reveals that very high representative sets when you only utilize 30% of your one representative maximum can stimulate as much muscle growth as a standard bodybuilding representative range. For instance, multiple studies demonstrated that you can create the same amount of muscle with low, moderate, and high reps. However, before you assume you can use any weight load or any representative range to gain muscle, hear me out since it's not as straightforward in real life as these studies that are done in a controlled lab setting, where you use 80% of your one representative maximum. Specifically, first, it's crucial to remember these 3 points. 1 or 2 reps per set during very low representative training is very unlikely to be the best for promoting muscle growth. This was demonstrated in a study that revealed performing 8 sets of hard, 1 representative max outs was less effective than performing 8 sets of 8 to 12 reps. So if you want to enhance muscle growth, use a weight load that enables you to complete at least 3 reps every set. Second, compared to training with a moderate or high representative range, exercising with very heavy loads for short reps is far more demanding on your joints and connective tissues. Even if you look at the studies that showed low representative trainees acquire the same amount of muscle, you typically also notice that they had a greater injury rate. Therefore, if you have joint pain or another condition that makes you more prone to injury, very low representative training may not be the best option for you. Additionally, even if you want to perform few repetitions of fairly big weight. Simply put, it's really challenging to maintain good form when doing these isolation movements with large weights, and you're much more inclined to cheat and use momentum. Therefore, I wouldn't recommend doing that for isolation exercises like bicep curls or lateral raises. Conversely, complex exercises like the squat, bench press, and deadlift can be performed safely for fewer repetitions and with larger weight loads as long as you keep perfect technique. To create the same amount of muscle with high representative sets as you would with moderate representative sets, you would have to train to failure. Now let's look at the other end of the spectrum at high reps right away. This is where we find our third problem. Since most people don't have the stamina to grind out 5 sets to failure with a very light weight of, say, 30% of your one representative max, it tends to be better to do more sets in moderate and lower representative ranges. Research indicates that if you don't train to failure with those higher representative sets, you won't reap the full benefits. Think about it, you can perform somewhere between around 25 and 35 reps if you're using about 30% of your one representative maximum. Will you be able to maintain that level of endurance for 5 sets? Will you be able to maintain attention for 25 to 35 reps before you genuinely reach failure, without quitting or using poor form? Imagine doing as many repetitions of an activity like squats as you could right now, even if you only achieved 50% of your one representative maximum. Despite the fact that you would definitely pass out after just one set, you shouldn't absolutely shun high representative training or any representative range for that matter. For isolation exercises like lateral raises or bicep curls, when severe tiredness is less of a problem, you can utilize higher representative sets. Furthermore, research demonstrates that training with a variety of representative ranges rather than consistently aiming for the same number of reps in each session will result in greater muscular growth. This is due to the fact that various representative ranges focus various anatomical pathways involved in muscle growth. For instance, high repetition training predominantly activates the metabolic stress pathway, which, as I explained previously, results in extremely low energy levels within the cell and the buildup of lactate, phosphate, and hydrogen ions. There are advantages to all of this for muscular building. In addition, high representative training is excellent for developing your slow twitch muscle fibers, which are less powerful than rapid twitch fibers but more fatigue resistant. On the other hand, large levels of mechanical tension are produced during low repetitions of heavy weight training, which stimulates muscle growth differently. It causes the mechanosensors, specific proteins, to become active in muscle cells. That in turn set off a chain reaction of genetic and hormonal signals that encourage your body to develop new muscle tissue. Low representative heavyweight training is advantageous since those mechanical sensors are only engaged by extremely high levels of tension. Again, more than 3 reps are typically ideal for low representative sets in order to minimize injuries, advance muscle growth more quickly, and also to increase mechanical tension. Fast twitch muscle fibers, which are muscle fibers that can produce a lot of force but can quickly weary, are best trained with few repetitions and heavy weights. Heavyweight lower representative sets are one of the best ways to get physically stronger, and even if you don't care about getting stronger, all you want is to get as big as possible, strength improvements are still advantageous for size gains. This is another significant advantage of training with heavy weights. The development of strength is associated with higher degrees of muscular activation during exercise, according to research. Therefore, even whether you train with moderate or higher reps, increasing more strength through heavy weight training will enhance muscle growth. Because you will continue to develop strength from your lower representative sets to your moderate and high representative sets, you will be able to lift bigger weights for those sets as well, which will result in more overall muscle growth. In conclusion, because low, moderate, and high representative sets all stimulate various growth pathways in the body, it is ideal to mix them all up. Now, practically speaking, you should perform the majority of your sets with a moderate representative range. It's less demanding on your joints and connective tissues than performing numerous high representative sets, and it's less strenuous than concentrating on lifting really big weight loads for a limited number of reps. Let me now give you a few instances of how you can use all these different representative ranges in your exercises to achieve your personal best results. My preferred method is periodization, which allows you to change your representative ranges every workout, every week, or every month. Since rotating every month allows me ample time to adjust and strengthen for the particular representative range I'm focusing on, I've had better results. Spending 3 to 4 weeks in each of the 3 representative ranges before going on to the next is thus one of the simplest ways to do this. The 3 representative ranges of 3 to 5 reps, 6 to 8 reps, and 12 or more reps have shown to be the most effective for me. So you spend 3 to 4 weeks lifting a weight that is heavy enough to cause you to reach failure after 3 to 5 repetitions. Then, for the following 3 to 4 weeks, you would switch to the 6 to 8 representative range, using a lighter weight than you had been using for the 3 to 5 representative range. But within your new 6 to 8 representative range, it should still be heavy enough to cause failure. Do the same for the 12 plus representative range and just cycle back and forth after 3 to 4 weeks. In the same way, returning to a previous representative range that you may have performed weeks or months earlier should help you develop stronger and add muscle faster. Try to increase the weight you use for those reps compared to the past time. You can now vary your representative range for up to a month at a time if you don't want to. Each workout can also include a variety of representative ranges that are customized according to your objectives. Let's assume that you are not very concerned with increasing your strength while you put on weight. Only 15% of your sets should consist of 3 to 5 repetitions, 70% of your sets should consist of 6 to 12 repetitions, and 15% of your sets should consist of 13 or more repetitions. And this is only to give you a general notion. You don't need to use math or be accurate with this arrangement to figure this out. For every 7 sets of moderate reps that you perform and are familiar with, you would simply add 1 to 2 heavy sets and 1 to 2 light sets. This arrangement is not particularly magical. It's just one method of including all representative ranges from the point of greatest muscle stimulation. Performing roughly 30% of your sets in the 3 to 5 representative range, 60% of your sets in the 6 to 12 representative range, and just 10% of your sets in the 13+ representative range would be another case where you are also focused on improving your strength in addition to your muscle mass. Another situation is that you might concentrate more on high representative work if you're older, more prone to injury, recuperating from a prior injury, or have a crucial joint. Because older people have less connective tissue due to slower protein turnover rates, which increases injury risk when exercising intensely by weakening joints and tendons, they can benefit most from high representative sets. Therefore, older folks and those with sore joints or injuries can perform 0% of their sets with 3 to 5 repetitions, 60% of their sets with 6 to 12 repetitions, and 40% of their sets with 13+ repetitions. That much wraps it up. Guys, I still favor heavyweight over lightweight, but if you liked this video, you should know that I include all representative ranges, from low to high, in my exercise routines. Ensure that you become a channel subscriber. Additionally, if you want a streamlined method of losing weight and gaining strength that includes a complete workout schedule, a video exercise library, a customizable meal plan, a rescue guide, and an accountability coach, visit my website to acquire all of this information free, and I can also help guide you through the entire process. Simply by putting in your best effort and staying the course. The majority of our clients have weight loss, body fat reduction, or muscle gain as their primary objectives. At the end of the program, clients receive a complete return simply by sticking to their plan. It functions almost like a discount to encourage you to follow through, which is the real secret to creating change.